My aunt was the founder of this paper way back in 1938. And she was very influential in getting a lot of things that happened in this city. For instance now, civil rights. Civil rights was a big thing back in the day because African Americans and other minorities as well were discriminated against. And so this paper was very active in trying to improve those conditions, but they were successful. That's why we have what we have today. I came here to live with my aunt so I could go to college. I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. And I stayed with her, and naturally she wanted me to go into journalism to become her partner. Well, my thing was, no, I want to be a teacher. I want to be a teacher. I want to go into education. Anybody that knew my aunt knows that she was the type of person where if she wanted something, she eventually got it. So she just waited, put me in her wheel, although at the time I was with Omaha Public Schools. And this is how I became the publisher. So she and I were very close, very, very close. She was sometimes a very surprising person. I never knew what was going to happen on the weekend. I mean, she would come in and she would say, okay, pack your suitcase. We're going to LA. Pack your suitcase. Never tell me, just come in. Tell me this on a Friday after I got back from school and work. She'd say, okay, we're going to Chicago. Pack your suitcase. But most Saturdays, I had to hold down the office. But these are the things that really helped to make it interesting around here. And then she would tell me, I got some tickets for thus and so. Let's go. She was interested in what was right. She was an extremely good, or maybe I should say excellent, advertising person. What she would do is go to these corporations, and the executive would say, oh my God, here she comes, because she didn't make an appointment. She knew that an appointment would mean a no. And she would go there, and the guy would see her because the secretary would, call in and say, Mills Brown is here, and tell her I'm not here, tell her I'm not here. Well, what she would do a lot of times is tell him, well, that's okay, I'll wait until he comes back and take a seat. And she would sit there and wait until finally the guy would say, okay, send her on in. And she would get in there. I mean, she was excellent at that, I mean, she was very articulate. She had to have a lot of patience in her field, and especially at that time. And then there was also the gender discrimination. She always wore a carnation on her shoulder, and she always wore a pretty hat. And sometimes she would wear expensive coats, like a mink or something like that. she liked expensive cars. And she was told, don't drive, the cars to the corporations because they would feel like you don't need anything for your business, or it would create envy. So she didn't listen. And a number of times they would tell her, well, my wife can't afford a coat like that, or, oh, you're driving a Lincoln or a Cadillac, whatever she might have been driving at that time. I can't afford that. And then she would have to break that wall down. Because you have to address the issues of the day. And that's what it was all about. At that particular time, other papers did not publish black news unless it was a crime. If it was a crime, you might get on the front page. This paper has never covered any crime. It's all good news. The main purpose is to give our people a voice. To give people who didn't have a voice for many, many years a voice. And also the purpose is to give a lot of educational facts to our people. In other words, to enlighten, to educate. Our paper is of interest to us. It tells our stories. Nobody can tell our stories like we can.